So imagine, if you will, Star Wars and Star Trek had a baby. And Firefly and Indiana Jones had a baby. And those two babies grew up and met and fell in love and had a little baby of their own. That baby would be Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, directed by James Gunn, starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Batista, and the voice talents of Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper. Also starring John C. Reilly, Glenn Close, Michael Roker. I went and saw this movie last night in IMAX in 3D. And you may ask yourself, is this movie worth seeing in IMAX in 3D? And the answer is yes, of course it is. It is just one of these movies that lends itself to the epicness of IMAX, because this movie is incredible. So in this movie, there is something that I'll be calling the plot device orb. The Guardians have the plot device orb, and a bunch of other people want the plot device orb. And that's essentially the core of this movie, well, at least the core of the plot. They have something, other people want it, conflict. But it's a lot more than just that. This movie is, for one, absolutely hilarious. I had trouble trying to work out if it was a comedy with action elements or an action with comedy elements. Because the other thing, the action scenes in this movie are absolutely fantastic. I would go so far to say as they are better than the action scenes in the Avengers. They are that good because you have the wide open space of space to orchestrate these amazing battles. All the jokes in this movie pretty much hit the mark. They are hilarious. There was people in the cinemas gut-bustingly laughing. And when it comes down to it, this really is, I guess, Chris Pratt's movie. You get a lot of his backstory, his character's backstory, Star-Lord, his backstory in this movie. But it's not just him. Zoe Saldana as Gamora is fantastic. She kicks so much ass, which we've seen her do before, except this time she's green instead of blue. Batista as Drax. Going into this movie, I was a little bit worried, because I've seen Batista act before. I've seen Batista wrestle before. I was really, really worried. But you know what? The dude is funny. Like, his comedic timing really surprised me, and he had a few moments where the entire cinema just burst out laughing from just something that he said, and it was just said with that perfect comedic timing. So he did a damn good job in this. Vin Diesel as Groot was awesome. I mean, he says 3 words for the entire movie, or well, the same 3 words over and over again. But just the inflections and the way he says it is just, it was perfect. He was so bloody good in this movie. Now we come to what I thought may have been the other weak link in this movie. Rocket, voiced by Bradley Cooper. Yeah. This had the potential to be really, really, really bad. Instead, he stole the entire movie. Every single scene he is in, you are on the edge of your seat waiting to see what he does next. He is possibly the best thing about this movie. Rocket is by far my favorite character so far this year in any movie. He is the coolest thing about it. And it's not just Bradley Cooper's voice acting, it is the special effects. My God, I did not see a CGI character. I saw a real anthropomorphic raccoon they found on the street and decided to put into a movie. It looks that real. As does Groot. Groot looks fantastic. All the special effects in this movie are amazing. All the way throughout this movie too, Marvel are planting these little seeds, these little Easter eggs that just, you know, that they are starting to expand the Marvel Universe out to the actual universe. There are so many little things that Marvel fans, especially like hardcore Marvel fans, will pick up on and go, oh yeah, that right there. Now it comes to probably the 2 things that I didn't quite like about the movie. The first thing, what I mentioned in my review of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, the villain, Ronan the Accuser. He was a bad guy. He did bad things to good people. That's about it. He didn't grab me. I think at this point we're all pretty spoiled with Loki, and it's really hard to match that sort of intensity and charisma and just plain fucking awesomeness, to be quite honest. He just felt like, I'm gonna coin this term right now, Malekith syndrome. He had Malekith syndrome all the way throughout this movie. I just did not care I sort of understood his reasons for doing what he did, but I just didn't care. He was just a bad guy. And I really, really, really wanted more backstory from all the Guardians. We got a little bit of Gamoras, we got a little bit of Draxes, we got a little bit of Rockets. But that was it. We got little tastes. And I'm hoping, now that the sequel has officially been announced, that in the next movie we get more backstory from all these other great characters that they've introduced us to in the cinematic universe. I want to know more about the rest of the Guardians, because, as I said, this really is Chris Pratt's movie. But he does an absolutely fantastic job in his role that it really didn't matter. It's a little nitpick, honestly, but I want more, because they're such interesting. They engage you. They draw you in really, really well. But I just want to know more. Everything about this movie lives up to and exceeds my expectations. This is my most anticipated movie of the year, and it did not disappoint. It gave me more than I wanted. The soundtrack as well. As you know from all the trailers, it's pretty much a best of the 70s, and it is just awesome. The soundtrack just adds more layers to this movie that is already fantastic. And yeah, I'm trying to work out which song's going to be stuck in my head more towards the end of the year. Everything is Awesome or Hooked on a Feeling. I think it's going to be the latter. Now, being a Marvel movie, there is a post-credit scene. This one, just see it for yourself. That's pretty much all I have to say about the post-credit scene. I'm not going to give anything away, just hang around and see it for yourself. The one thing that really perplexed me, people left before the post-credit scene. Like, have they never seen a Marvel movie before? You hang around. I was there with my friend, and we looked at each other, and we were just like, why are people leaving? And this happened at the end of Days of Future Past as well. We're like, where are these people going? This is a Marvel movie. You stay around for the end credit scene. What are you doing? Do hang around for it. It is what it is, and that's all I'm saying about it. That's it. So have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy? Are you looking forward to it as much as I was? If you have seen it, comment below. Tell me what you thought of it. If not, go and see this movie, because it is just an amazing ride. You will love every single second of it. Until next time, guys, peace out.